As I'm sure you know, there was an assassination attempt earlier today, and the identity of this shooter has been discovered by the New York Post. The FBI hasn't confirmed it yet, but a reporter ran the person's name, and they were able to find the party registration for the shooter. I'm going to show you that to you in a second. But first, there was an eyewitness report from someone that the BBC discovered, and this person, the shooter, was hiding in plain sight. You got to listen to this.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So this guy is describing, essentially, he did everything he could to let law enforcement know that there was someone on the roof climbing with a gun, and they either didn't pay attention or they didn't care, and they didn't take enough time to actually look to make sure that that perimeter was clear. So that's a huge oversight. I'm sure there's going to be congressional investigations on this, and I would not be surprised if many people are going to be losing their jobs. But we have to figure out why this is happening, because regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, we have to make sure that our candidates are safe and that the people that are doing the job of keeping the president safe are doing the best job they can. Let's listen to more of what he's got to say.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
Binoculars.
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here?
That's a great question. Why weren't there Secret Service on all of those buildings? I'm going to show you this picture right now. There was an obviously clear line of sight where look at this. This is the location of the gunman right there. That is where Trump was speaking. And so that is a clear shot right there. And no one thought to check that place. It's actually outrageous. So someone is going to be answering a lot of questions, and I think we're hopefully we'll be learning a lot more about what went wrong. And I'm sure security is going to be crazy at every single campaign event from now on. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I were like a politician, I would be terrified of speaking. I would be terrified. So I can't imagine putting myself out there like that, knowing that you can never be 100% safe. It's scary as hell. But let's go to this person's New York Post says here. The person's name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. Now, we don't know a lot about him right now. That's all developing as we're speaking. And again, the FBI has not confirmed this name, but quite often than not, like, the reporters can move faster than the police. And so they might have gotten a source who is, investigating this, and they kind of pass it to them as a favor. So that's usually how these things come out. But I would be surprised if the name does change. So Thomas Matthew Crooks appears to be the name of the person. The little bit we do know about him is that he is a Pennsylvania resident. He's 20 years old. He is white. And like I said, a reporter being able to find all this information. A reporter can take the name, take the birthday, which they have, take where the person lives, and they can push that through a website, and they can find the person's party registration. This reporter did that, and we now know that according to this reporter, the shooter appears to be a registered Republican, which to me is wild. And I think if true, that will hopefully try to bring the temperature down, at least a little bit about like the political violence of it all. I do think there is, and I mean, of course, this is what's happening in our media environment and the way that everyone is extremely online. Everyone thinks that this is some sort of like false flag or it was a setup or staged. I think this will add to the fuel to the fire of those who believe in conspiracy theories. This is only going to kind of enhance that. But hopefully my hope is that this will lower the temperatures. So I am sure we're going to learn a lot more as time goes on, and as the hours become days, become weeks, we will know a lot more about this. But I do really think there's not many moments in American history where there's a before and after. I think this is a moment where things are going to change. And I don't know what that's going to look like. This is a historic moment we're living through. And I think it's hard to kind of sometimes step outside it and observe it for what it is. But this is a historic moment we're living through. And I don't know where this is going to take us, but I just know that we are never going to be where we were before. So, more soon.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?